Alright, so here's another movie that has, like, multiple titles. So, let's see. Agaton Sax and the Feast of Bico- Bicopings. I don't know how you pronounce that. Yeah, several of these titles have this, what I'm guessing, or yeah, town in Sweden. It is a Swedish movie based on a Swedish book. So let's see, Agaton Sax and Bikaping's Banquet. I'm sorry to Swedes everywhere. And then Bikaping's Guest Party. But I think ultimately it means little in terms of like the dub that I watched. Hold on. Yeah, I watched an English dub of this movie that actually was done like just a few years ago. So, and the name of that is just Agaton Sax, the movie, and yeah. I think I'm just gonna go by Agaton Sax here. I think it's all encompassing, you know. So yeah, this is based on a Swedish book series by Niels Olaf Ranzin. Again, sorry to all you Swedes out there who might be listening to this. And yeah, the director of this was named Stig Lazenby. Looks like he has, like I see a picture and everything, so I'm wondering if we might get more movies. Actually, is this another Agaton Sax movie that I... Well, anyway, yeah, there's another one from 72, but yeah, so the plot of this movie is, we have two dangerous criminals, Julius Mosca and Octopus Scott. And yeah, they escape from prison, and along with like several other criminals, but we don't get a whole lot of focus on these other crooks. But yeah, let's see. And the whole movie is basically about Agaton Sax and well, pretty much the whole police force hunting down these mainly these two criminals, and there also happens to be two guys who are like complete lookalikes and sound-alikes. They're basically duplicates of the two criminals, so yeah, that makes things a little confusing, but I guess that's the idea. Let's see. And yeah, so this movie's got quite a few interesting characters in it. Agaton Sax, he seems to be a very resourceful, if a little clumsy or whatever, detective, and he's kind of working off this bumbling police commissioner, or no, Inspector Joshua H. Lispington. So he's a detective too, apparently, so I guess Agaton works for him. And the movie never really clarified to me. And yeah, we got quite a few interesting characters, but yeah, I'd probably say the most interesting ones were like all the villains. Like, even though we don't get a whole lot of time to focus on the underlings, they're still like very interesting characters with these very interesting designs. But yeah, again, I kind of wish we had more. We got to know these other criminals more, but yeah, it is basically all about Octopus Scott and Julius Mosca, and yeah, they're definitely entertaining too. So yeah, this English version I watched. I guess the movie mainly takes place in London, but yeah. But yeah, then they go to Sweden, and apparently it's Christmas time, so I guess it's a Christmas movie. Kind of like Die Hard. Let's see. Sorry. Just trying to think of what to say next. So since this is the English dub, one notable thing is that the guy voicing Octopus Scott did a pretty solid Peter Lorre impression. I guess it's easy to click to Peter Lorre for this kind of character. Julius Mosca, he had a pretty typical, Cockney, sound like a typical Cockney villain, But yeah, they did a good job. Yeah. There were good voices, and then, there were some that I thought were, like, okay, but they were kind of flat. Actually, Agaton Sax himself, I thought, sounded kind of flat through much of the movie. But, yeah, he was okay. I mean, everyone in here was at least okay, or, in terms of these English voices. And yeah, in this English version, there's also a narrator, and he's kind of obnoxious and over the top, but at the same time, he's basically the funniest part of the movie, because he does a lot of like little fourth wall jokes. There's even a little reference near the beginning to the iPhone, and yeah, kind of jarring for a movie that was originally made in the 70s. That takes place in the 60s, but yeah, they do point that out. But yeah, it did become a little much, the narration, or, the goofy voice that he did. But yeah, it was still basically the funniest part of the movie, because yeah, the rest of the movie, in terms of, like, humor, I thought, it was okay. There wasn't a whole lot of, like, really funny slapstick. I can't say there were, like, any jokes other than from the narrator that, like, really hit. It's all kind of just middle-of-the-road, safe humor, at least for an American like myself. And it's a shame, because, there's, it is, like, a very promising idea, the whole Keystone Cops type, comedy. The animation had a nice, stylistic, I thought it looked very interesting and entertaining. Again, the character designs were fun. Let's see. Yeah. Pretty colorful overall. But yeah, I think the comedy overall had a bit to be desired, and, for a movie like this, when you compare it to stuff like Pink Panther, or what else, just any of these silly Keystone cop type comedies, you kind of expect a little more, you expect the pace and the timing and everything to be a little sharper. Yeah. But But yeah, I thought it was fine. I think it was a perfectly serviceable movie. Um, I mean, in terms of the, yeah, I just like the presentation and yeah, that helped the movie along. But yeah, it was pretty slow in the comedy department when the narrator wasn't being his goofy self. But yeah, it was a decent, somewhat entertaining movie. I just think it could have been better. And yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the books it's based on, but yeah. So anyway, as usual, if there's anything else I feel I need to add, I'll put it in the comments. I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. This is another one that maybe you'll like more than I did. You know, if you're into these kinds of comedies, maybe you'll enjoy it. But yeah, I personally think it could have done a little more with the humor. And, you know, I'm not just talking about the narrator in this new English dub. I'm talking about just the humor in general from the original movie. But yeah, if you're interested, feel free to check the movie out. There's entertaining aspects to it. So yeah, decent movie. Could have been better. Yeah. I'll leave it at that for now. Mash it and smash it, signing off.